All right, last section here. We're actually going to reverse it. In the other sections, we've started with talking about a topic,
Right.
strategy, or we've been talking about, all the different experiences, groups, all those things. But this one, we're going to reverse it. So we're going to come in here and we're going to talk about you, Eugene, and we're going to talk
Okay.
about the trading stocks community. So just so we started out, again, I hate to have you do it, but I want you to do it. Just introduce yourself and get into why trading stocks. What got you into trading stocks? It's kind of a crazy story.
Okay. Well, a little bit about me. I make my home here in the Carolinas. I'm a married man of about 18 years almost, and I've got 4 children. I used to be a financial planner with Ameriprise Financial Services, used to work for the Vanguard Group. I'm a former Army officer, served during the first Gulf War. And I became interested in stocks in college. And I'm a little bit older, and it was 1987. The stock market crashed. And I saw that the stock market represented a very serious opportunity for those that could figure it out. And got out of the military, had lots of ups and downs, job changes, investing money, losing money, and eventually figured out how to do it. Bought a lot of books. One of them was Trading Stocks for a Living. Um, for those that are watching live, I used to have a number of written goals in the back of the book, which you guys probably can't see, but there's a
Yeah.
chart here, and that was in 2006. And then if I go to the front of the book, it's the very same thing, goals that I tried to accomplish on a month by month basis with some success and a number of failures until I got washed out of the market. I was driving for Uber while we were working on the platform, and I was working on business, trying to control my own schedule, and realized that I could not be in a car when COVID hit. And I was able to take just a little bit of money and turn it into a healthy amount of money
Yeah.
that time since 2021
Yeah.
or
So,
2020.
yeah, what we talk about, and sometimes you don't like to say it always out there, but we're talking about from Uber to millionaire because that's what you did. You were able to go from Uber to millionaire, um, and which is just a phenomenal story. I mean, again, it's what everybody's dream is, to be honest with you. Is can you take something that you know and can you turn it into something very profitable? You were able to do that.
Yeah, and I'm thankful. I'm certainly I don't take it for granted. We've talked about in the past, if you have a C note, and what does $100 mean to you? And for me, it was, $100 took my family to Olive Garden. $100 took the family of 6 to the movie theater, which I always say I may have to sneak in a Snickers bar and maybe a drink. But in a very systematic way, I was able to go from about 5,000 to almost $3 million in a year. And I've got a way with which I try to teach people how to learn to trade. So if you're interested, I've got a live stream going. Send me a text, 704-488 8229. Better number, 704-488-0136. And let me know that you're interested. There's a number of ways, which we're going to get into, that I use the platform to help people learn how to trade stocks.
Yeah, a lot of people grind day to day, and that's what you were doing. And we were building the platform out early on. We were really working hard on that, but you were grinding. You were. Look, I'll throw you some props because you actually drove so much. You told me one time that Uber used to give you a bonus because you drove so much. That's a lot of driving, you know,
Yeah, there was a lot of driving, a lot of driving, a lot of grinding.
a
There's
lot of grinding.
a lot of long days, and I think anybody who's successful has put in the time. No one makes excuses for success, but they always seem to make excuses for failure. Here's the reason why I didn't get it done. And they're usually excuses, but people who are really very, very focused, they'll figure out a way to get it done. And it starts with, having the right mindset, and then having certainly a platform like we have to be able to take something and scale it.
Let's stay on that topic real quick because it hasn't been an overnight success,
Mhm.
right? For us, it's a grind. We have worked hard to get where we are. We've worked hard, and the people who have been here and stuck around and stayed with us, and they're really working hard because it takes work to be successful. I'm lucky enough to fly Roger Penske, in the airplane, and this man, I think I work hard, but he works harder than me, and he's, a older gentleman, 87. You don't become what he is without really putting your nose to the grind and working. And so it doesn't just fall into your lap all the time. Be great to be an overnight success, but that's few and far between. You have to believe in what you're doing and you have to, really grind it out and make it happen for sure.
Yeah, yeah, without question. And it's just the small things. I picked up a book. Certainly, I knew I was going to be on here, and I grabbed, the compound
Oh,
effect.
yes.
It's the little things that you do every day, these little habits, these little processes that you employ every single day to help you achieve what you're trying to achieve. So, yeah, it's a grind. There's a lot of work involved in trading stocks, but it's very systematized. Is how I approach the whole thing.
Well, it is. So let's talk about trading stocks. So let's get into your community and what you've been able to create and just give everybody what you've done, the process you've put in place, and kind of what the overall goal is of that community.
Yeah, trading stocks community. I have coaching groups. Then I have a course that's in there, and then what I'm building are chapters. So with the coaching, it's about one-on-ones for those who want it. It's about putting people in groups to to help them or meet them where they are, because some people are just starting out, and the language and the process of trading is all new to them. So you've got to I have a more of a beginner like group, and then of those who have some experience, or those who simply want to learn at a faster pace. Then they can get with me, and we can do a lot of one-on-one hand holding throughout the week.
Yeah, there's so much to learning how to trade stocks. I've done some training with you and some learning from you, and there's so much to it. There's so many different ways you can do it, and people have different thought processes of what do they want to buy? Do they want to buy breakouts or whatever? All the different
Mhm.
terms. But there's so much to it that, yeah, gosh, yeah. How do you teach something like that? And what I'm getting by that is like you've succeeded. So I can watch your course on buying breakouts, but I will have questions. I need to talk to you. And that's what makes your platform and through Convene different is because I need access to you.
Yeah.
I need to be on with you and
Yeah,
learn
I
from
think
you.
that is incredibly important in some fields or some endeavors, if you will. It is very important that you have a coach, and I think everyone who's been great at something probably had a coach somewhere, whether that's a great actor or actress. Michael Jordan had a coach. All of these guys have had and still have, whether they're mindset coaches or coaches in their particular profession. So having access to me will certainly help you with the learning curve, because quite honestly, I've been through it. I've
Yeah.
made tons and tons of mistakes. I never had a coach. I went through all the ups and downs. I have a very solid foundation of what it takes to be able to trade stocks profitably, consistently every single day or every single week. And like anything else, it's there's a methodology to all of it.
Yeah. And that's so important. So you have groups, you have modules, you have discussion boards, and then you have live calls. So tell people kind of what the thought process is behind all the combination of everything.
Yeah, discussion boards, I don't use them as much, but if someone has a question as these groups grow, uh, probably someone else has the same question. And so I love the discussion board feature that is there. So I encourage people, put your question in the discussion board. So specifically, if someone had a question about Tesla and they were reporting earnings this week, maybe other people have the same question, and I'm able to go in there and give you my thoughts on Tesla show you the charts, show you the technical and the fundamental analysis, take you through why this might make a good buy or a not a good buy. Uh, and then I'm able to interact with you, going beyond discussion boards. There's the opportunity for lessons learned. If I've learned something from a particular trade, I can blog in there. I certainly can create what we call experiences, where I can go a little bit more in depth about a particular training or a particular opportunity with a stock. um, and then there's obviously, you being able just to call me on the phone is
Yeah.
huge, for you to be able to ask me questions. I've had a number of people do that this week, because we had a company who they landed their lander on the moon, and it was a pretty big deal for the stock. And so people certainly made some really good money leading up to it, and then come to find out Friday late after hours, it actually ended up tipping over. So the stock dropped significantly,
Wow.
and people had questions about, hey, is this a buy, is this not a buy? So there were a lot of people watching, but what I tell them, there's always an event. It may
Yeah.
not be a global event like landing on the moon, but there's always an event. There's always catalysts with
Yeah.
stocks, and you just got to know how to figure those out, and how do you take advantage of them.
And you got to know when to take the money.
Yeah. I say
Yeah.
that often, take the money. And I know I'm going to be on some calls probably tomorrow, and I'll be curious to see if some folks took the money, because I told them around $12 a share would probably be a good price to take the money. Although we went to 14, uh,
What's it
some
at now?
folks, it's at $6 and some change.
Because it
And
tipped over.
because it tipped over. That's what they've heard in the interview from, I guess, either the CEO or someone who just tried to say, hey, that the lander is still reading. We're still going to be able to achieve our objectives, but it is actually sideways at this point. And so a lot of the philosophies and the concepts and the strategies that I go over, trying to help people learn how to trade stocks, one of those things that I tell them is to take the money a lot of times when it is there, but by understanding the moving pieces, it will help you arrive at whatever decision
Wow.
that you should be arriving at. So
That's
taking
actually
the money.
that's actually a fascinating story there, that it tipped over. And
Yeah.
interesting. Wow. So that's pretty cool. And so that trading stocks community is a great community. You're doing great things. You're teaching people how to trade stocks. You're working with clients, group clients, individual clients, all those different things, and you're growing something significant. And it's going to grow. Um, More. We have a race on between you and your say, we still have the queen. We started with her, the queen of Convene, and but you got Brenda Warren that's watching right now. She's like saying you don't have a chance. We have Kate, we have all these people, it's a big competition going on within Convene, and you're telling them, watch out. What do you have to say to them?
Yeah, I would tell them, pack a lunch, make sure you get your rest, because I'm really going to leverage the platform. And I think by what I offer, and the price point that I'm going to offer it here soon, which is going to be $10, everybody in America can afford to learn how to trade stocks. And
Yeah.
I'm going to do it in the confines of, and we'll talk about it in a minute, of more of the franchise chapter model. So if someone, say you have whatever 9 other friends, and you guys want to start a little investment group or a little chapter, you guys each will be able to pay $10, and your chapter is responsible for paying the $100 a month. And there's going to be tons and tons of content that you're going to be able to learn from. It just won't be stocks. I'm going to be bringing on guests, whether they be real estate folks, personal finance folks, retirement folks, etc. It's the model that we talked about probably, Matt, a year and a half ago, Convene Cities,
Yeah.
kind of that sort of model. Um, and when I do that, Brenda, Lisa, and all those guys will be left in the dust. It's going to be it's going to be shameful.
Yeah. Well, and you're also going to, really work hard, which everybody needs to work hard. on bringing premier members to the site, right? You
Mhm.
bring premier members to the site. It doesn't have to be in trading stocks. They can go in any community, any
Right.
place. And by bringing premier members, teaching them and working with them on how to leverage the system, that's what we want to do, and how to grow their business. But if you're the one who brought that premier member, one, you make a fee off the membership. But anytime that somebody else sells their content. Remember, they sell their own content, they keep it all. Anytime somebody else sells their content, it enters the referral system. And so there's referral fees to be made. So,
Yes, and that's a beautiful thing. Incentivizing people to not only help themselves, but to help other people by making coaching groups or courses available for them to leverage. That's a really good thing, and we talked about that in an earlier session. So yeah.
yeah.
Eugene,
Well,
we really need to work on your confidence.
Right?
yeah. Yeah. I'm going to get him into my confidence course and try to teach him about it. So,
Confidence is key.
yeah. So no, Eugene, I appreciate you. You're one of my, we're best friends there. We got, a great thing going. We've worked hard to build this. We're growing it out, but it's been a grind, and I'm glad you talked about that because it takes work, it takes effort, and the system works. The system works, and so we're going to go into anything else you want to add about trading stocks before we jump into the Q&A. So if anybody has any questions, go ahead and put them in there now. We are going to open the phone line as well. But I'll let you close out on your personal community on trading stocks, and what are your goals in this next year?
Yeah, just to help as many people as I can, and to further prove the model that is already working like a champ. That is Convene Communities, and so by taking the lead, if you will, in what I do, it will allow others to follow because they'll see how well it is working, and they'll see, what I'm doing, and they can certainly they
Yeah.
can try to follow along. The Brendas and the Kates of the world. They just try to